So here's a look. So it was so frustrating watching some of the town hall. I had to flip off. I had to switch off. I didn't say flip off. But and then read some sound bites today. Yeah. Here's a look at the questions, concise and simple, and the answers anything but.
2022, 2023, there were record border crossings. Your administration took hundreds of executive actions. It didn't stem the flow. Numbers kept going up. Finally, in 2024, just in June, 3 weeks before the first presidential debate with Joe Biden, you institute executive actions that had a dramatic impact, really shut down people crossing over. Why didn't your administration do that in 2022, 2023?
First of all, you're exactly right, Anderson. And as of today, we have cut the flow of immigration by over half. In fact, the numbers I saw most recently, illegal immigration.
But if it was that easy with that executive action, why not do it in 2022, 2023?
Because we were working with Congress and hoping that actually we could have a long-term fix to the problem instead of a short-term fix.
You couldn't have done one and both at the same time?
Well, here's the thing. We have to understand that ultimately this problem is going to be fixed through congressional action.
Under Donald Trump, you criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I'm not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
You know, I got to give him so much credit. Haley Jackson, too, yesterday. These aren't complex questions. They're the questions everybody has. Yeah. She has not been forced to answer. She got the nomination in July. She hijacked it. And here we are in October. She's finally getting just normal questions and a follow-up. She has no answer.
Anderson asked her, why didn't she do what she promised as a vice president? And this was her answer. There was a lot done, but there's more to do. I'm pointing out things that need to be done that haven't been done, but need to be done.
Yeah. Well, now that makes sense. Now that you read it back. Now I get it.
There were some direct questions that we all want the answers to. Particularly undecided voters want the answers to.
So frustrating to watch.
I read.
I'm not frustrated.
I read this morning that apparently she was asked a pretty simple question, and she gave a 7-minute answer that didn't actually answer the question.
What a shame.
Here is Barack Obama's former advisor, David Axelrod, over on CNN with his assessment of her performance. And you know what? It was not good.
I think it was a mixed night, okay? I think she was very strong coming out of the gate. She was very strong on, as she has been, on abortion rights because she feels passionately about it. She could be clinical on some of these economic issues. She was great on the long-term care for the elderly. The things that would concern me is when she doesn't want to answer a question, her habit is to kind of go to word salad city, and she did that on a couple of answers. One was on Israel. Anderson asked a direct question, would you be stronger on Israel than Trump? And there was a 7-minute answer, but none of it related to the question he was asking.
Tell you something, the analysis that one of the Obama bros is giving is essentially reflecting what the former president of the United States, President Barack Obama, feels, and David Plouffe, who's now running Kamala Harris's campaign. I owe them a lot of credit from my childhood teaching me how to do community organizing, knock on doors, communicate with. She has some of the best tacticians on her campaign. The problem is they have a terrible candidate. They were used to dealing with Barack Obama, who can go out there and speak and communicate to the American people, who wanted the moderates to come and vote for him, who was called the deporter-in-chief. And now you have a candidate that has had years to craft some sort of message, and she has nothing at all for the American people. I mean, good luck.
No, this is why the answer is Donald Trump is unelectable. He's unhinged. He's too old. That is why she's going to be at the Ellipse January 6th. Yeah. That's what she's going to say. Don't vote for me. Just don't vote for, vote for me because you don't want to vote for him. And that's pretty sad when they look around with their communications experts and said, but judging by your performance, we have to make him unelectable because we can't make you electable.
Yeah, that's true.
Running for president would be very difficult, right? You're asked questions, you have to think very quickly on
Every
your
answer
feet.
could kill you.
Yes, exactly. So you have to be smart about it. But when it's over and over and over, that whole town hall, she wasn't answering any questions. It makes me wonder, is she prepared for this? Does she have a plan? Or is she saying, I'm a thinker, I can't answer this right now, because she needs to go backstage and ask her people what to say?
Well, and tonight she's on the stage. She's going to be down in Atlanta, and she's going to be there with Tyler Perry, Bruce Springsteen, people like that. Because that's one of the ways you can get you can pack the house, and then you can get your message out. It doesn't mean everybody there is going to be saying, okay, I'm going to vote for her.
But is this a message she's going to read off a teleprompter?
I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned for that. What's interesting is the number of people who this cycle are sitting it out. Warren Buffett put out a statement through his company website yesterday that said there's a lot of fake news on social media that I've endorsed somebody. I'm not going to endorse anybody, which is the same case as the LA Times. The news today about the LA Times not endorsing anybody is the fact that the op-ed page editor quit. Because apparently they were planning to endorse Kamala Harris, but the billionaire owners said, we're not going to endorse anybody this time, which flies in the face of what they have done for decades.
I just want to go back to Ainsley's point about someone that ran for president back in 2019, that is the current vice president of the United States, that when faced with issues of the country says she's still thinking about things. I mean, in any other job, you're asking us to hire you, and you don't know the answers to the questions.
She's 12 days away from a possible
why are you 12 days out and you don't know how to fix the border? Why are you 12 days out and you still don't have an answer on how to lower the price of groceries? I mean, that makes zero sense. In any other job, it would be disqualifying.
And why are these jobs so important now to secure the border, to fix the grocery prices? Why weren't they over the last 3.5 years when she was saying the border is secure?
And also, you notice how many Denny's are closing, how many Fridays are closing. These are basic food prices.
People can't afford it.
Yeah.
Very interesting to see why so many of these franchises.
3 fabulous restaurants just closed here in New York. And you drive up Madison Avenue, used to be store after store. It's empty.
Yeah, well, part of it is the high cost of food and labor. The other thing is people can't afford to eat out as much as they could.
People aren't shopping as much anymore.
No. Don't worry, though. She has a plan to make sure people don't go to prison for weed, because that's what we're all concerned about right now when we can't afford things. I mean, it's so insulting to the American people when we continue to ask for basic things, how to eat, secure the border, and you give us weed.
Who's going to be a better friend to Israel? Should be an easy question. You or Donald Trump? And she basically had no answer.
7-minute answer.
Right. She's trying to
buckle up
to get those voters in Michigan, but she's also trying to get those voters in, South Carolina.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.